So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our virtual orientation. In this session, we are going to have the success coaches talking about success, academic success at Fleming College. We have with us Ashley Jefford. Mary is not here with us, but she's one of the success coaches as well. You have Michelin Schwartz, who is going to be doing the presentation in the background for you, and Valerie Dalby, who will be presenting today. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here and talking to our students about their success at Fleming.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Again, there's 4 student success coaches, and each coach works with different students in different programs here at the college. So you will get to know your coach over the course of your time, and we do encourage you to kind of tap into the service and support that we can offer you, and we'll give you an overview today as to what all that entails. So, student success coaches are here to help you navigate any challenges that might be impacting your success. If, for example, you're struggling to, attend classes, or you're having difficulties feeling successful or progressing through the program, we want to hear from you. We invite you to connect with us early on so we can explore how we can support you and what great services and resources the college has to offer to link you to, so that you can be successful and kind of settle in and feel comfortable with your selection to be with us here at the college and be successful as you move through your terms. So again, we're here to help you navigate challenges, connect you to those learning and wellness supports. Sometimes it can take some familiarization around our college processes and policies so we can help you sort of decipher some of that information. And we just want you to know that you're not alone, and asking for help is really going to be key to your success. So, as I've mentioned, we're here to support you throughout your journey at the college. Certainly, when you first sort of arrive to Canada and are settling in, we want to be a support system for you, but not just then, kind of throughout your studies. So please know that we're kind of in your corner. We're here to support you. Meetings can happen both virtually or in person, really whatever your preference is. And generally, they're about 20 to 30 minutes long, and we do have support available to students at any of our campuses, so Peterborough, Lindsay, Halliburton. We want to see you succeed, and we can provide you with a safe space to talk. Sometimes it's not always comfortable, maybe to bring forward concerns with maybe your peers or faculty. So this could be an alternative option for you. We're friendly. We're here to be a good listener and be non-judgmental of the situation, but just to understand it and see how we can support you. So there's many different reasons why students may reach out to us. So you'll see sort of in that bottom right-hand slide some possible reasons why a student might connect with us. So perhaps the term's starting off really strong and you're motivated, but maybe that motivation starts to kind of decline over the course of the term. So that might be one reason. Or sometimes, students are feeling some financial pressure to work and go to school, and then that might feel a bit difficult to sort of manage. Or maybe you're feeling discouraged, maybe you're not passing your classes, or maybe you're struggling to get to class. So those are just some examples of why a student might reach out. There's no sort of right or wrong reason why a student might connect with us, but please reach out if you're feeling you could use that extra support. So within the next few weeks, you will see an email come to you from your student success coach. Again, it could be from me or Ash or Mary or Mitch. It all depends on sort of which program you're in. The student success coach that's sort of assigned to your program will connect with you. This email will provide you with some important and helpful Fleming resources and information to kind of get you off to a good start. And as well, you'll find our booking link within this email, which you can just sort of click on, and then you can find a time that we'd be available for you to set up a meeting. And through that booking link, you can indicate whether or not you want to meet in person or virtually. And then we also have an email address, so that's noted on the slide there. It's studentsuccess@flemingcollege.ca. So at any point in time, you could reach out. All 4 of us sort of monitor that inbox. So we'll make sure that the email goes to the right coach and we'll get you connected to service. So that's an option as well. So there is a student readiness survey, and I imagine any one of you might appreciate an extra $100. So that could be a good motivation for you to complete this survey. It's a chance to win. There's a 1 in 5 chance for those completing the survey of winning what we call a one card. So if you're not familiar with what a one card is, this is a form of payment in around campus. So it could be used at our cafeteria for food service, the bookstore, or athletics. So there's some good options or ways to spend that. So we invite you to complete this survey, and it really is an opportunity for you to kind of just go through some simple questions. And as a result of doing that, you would get a personalized readiness report, we call it. And basically, depending on how you answer your questions, you'll get a report or some feedback on some supportive resources that the college has to offer that's unique to you based on what your responses were. It's going to generate some ideas as to what could be a good linkage for you. It will also help you better understand your strengths, and it can help you identify your academic habits and skills that might need to be strengthened to help your success at the college. So it's a great way for you to increase your success by being prepared. So we really invite everybody to complete that survey. And I do see that we have a question, a raised hand there. So I'm happy to take that question if you want to ask. You can either unmute yourself or you could put your question in the chat, or we can come around to questions at the end. All right, I'll keep going and maybe, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's possible that they can't unmute. I
Okay.
believe only panelists can.
Okay.
So if they can put the question in the chat, that would be ideal. And then we can do it either way. You can answer questions kind of throughout if the chat's not getting to be too much, or we can save questions until the end of your presentation. Either way works.
Okay, why don't we just have individuals populate questions in the chat throughout, and I'll just carry on because perhaps some of the information I'll provide might answer your questions, and then whatever is not answered by the end of the presentation, we'll visit the chat and we'll make sure everybody's questions are answered. So just some highlights on this student readiness survey. You will receive the invite to complete the survey by email. You might have already received it. The time frame on this survey is between the period of April 16th and May 10th. So May 10th would be the deadline if you want to be submitted for this one card and get that personalized report. We would ask you to complete that over the next few weeks. A unique link will be sent out to first semester students. And the email itself is going to come through an email address that says new student survey at flemingcollege.ca. So if you see an email, new student survey, this is the student readiness survey that I've been speaking of. It will only take you approximately 10 minutes to complete it. As I've mentioned, you will get a personalized report to assist with your success. So it will offer you personalized suggestions. And again, just a reminder, it's a chance to win that $100 gift card, 1 in 5 chance. So please take a time to fill that out for us. So this is what the email would look like, just to kind of give you a bit of a visual so you know what you're kind of looking for. This would come to your Fleming email address. And again, it's from new student survey at flemingcollege.ca. And you'll see down here, there was a link, click here to go to your survey. So you would just click that. So we just wanted to offer you a few strategies or tips that can really help with your success as you come to the college. So we came up with the acronym here for ACE. So to sort of ACE or be successful in your program, think of the three words here on the screen. So the A representing attend. Attendance to classes is really important. It's a way for you to really, sort of understand sort of the course material, get to know your faculty, just really kind of understand and be successful in the courses that you're attending. So attendance is really highly, highly recommended, can really impact your success at the college. Secondly, the C, we went with the word communicate. So what we mean by this is, communicating with your peers, communicating with your faculty. This is really important. Say, for example, you're not able to attend a class, maybe you're going to miss a lab. It's better to be kind of proactive and communicate with your faculty ahead of, absences where possible. If you're, unable to kind of hit a deadline or something kind of unexpected comes up in your life that feels like it's impacting your ability to be successful, have those conversations with your faculty. And or we invite you to communicate with us, connect with us. Maybe if you're not feeling comfortable to go to your faculty, we could be maybe a resource for you to kind of navigate how you could kind of move forward and be successful in that class. And the E is for the word engage. So engage with services and supports, engage in your classwork, engage in, what all Fleming has to offer. We want you to be part of sort of the family, the Fleming community, if you will. So engage and get involved in things can make your experience here at the college, so much more rewarding because it's a big transition coming here and we want you to kind of settle in and feel comfortable. So we just want to touch briefly really on academic integrity and the importance of that. And we want to flag for you that if you're not already planning on it, we encourage you to attend a session this coming Wednesday. So on Wednesday, April 24th, Eastern Standard Time, so our time, 9:45 a.m. There's going to be a session that's really kind of detail at length. What is academic integrity? What are things that you need to be mindful of? And really, kind of at its core, academic integrity is, being honest and, avoiding things like plagiarism or, properly citing and referencing, what you're referring to as you might do some research for a paper, that sort of thing. So much more information will be available to you on Wednesday. And it's something to be really, really, conscious of, mindful of, because sometimes people unintentionally might do things that can impact their academic integrity and that can impact your success. So we want you to be aware of the expectations because the expectations in your home country and the expectations in Canada, there might be some differences there. So we want you to be aware of that and how it can play an important part of your success in classes and ultimately your program. So I won't say any more because I think you're going to get some really good information on Wednesday, but do keep that session in mind. The other thing that we want to flag for people kind of early on as you're thinking about coordinating supports to be successful here is a linkage to our accessible education service on campus. So for people who are wanting to link in with what we call an AES, so Accessible Education Service for short, AES counselor, they would go through an intake form and then they would meet with an accessibility counselor. So if we just move to the next screen, actually, sorry, we'll go back to the AES one. Sorry, I thought there was another one that maybe described why you might link with AES. So I'm going to just sort of speak to that. So if you might have had some difficulties perhaps in prior education, so in Canada, we have what's called an IEP, or it stands for an individual education plan. It might not be called that in your home country, but maybe you had a plan for some accommodations or some supports, or maybe you just have some difficulties, or you might need some extra time to do tests or some note-taking support, as an example. This would be worthwhile to book an appointment with them to explore this support early into your studies. Sometimes people think, no, I'm good, I'm going to be fine, and they move through the semester, and then the semester comes with challenges, and then they try to get the support, but it might be a little too late then in the term to still be successful. So if this is a service that you think you could benefit from, it's always best to connect to this service much earlier in your time at the college than waiting and seeing. So it's worthwhile to make that appointment and explore that possibility with them. So we just wanted to offer you some tips for motivation. So we encourage you to set some short-term achievable goals and then recognize sort of your accomplishments and your achievement of those goals along the way. Avoid procrastination where possible. I know sometimes it's a little more tempting to maybe pick up a phone or, get on social media or watch TV and kind of avoid those assignments or studying for tests. But we really encourage you to kind of plan your time well and try to kind of pace yourself so you don't let things kind of build up and then that could start to feel overwhelming. So just try to avoid procrastination and put a plan in place. It can be helpful to find a study group. So maybe working with some peers in your class to kind of study and lean into each other's strengths and knowledge in the subject. We recommend individuals, again, this is the idea of becoming engaged. So joining a drop-in or an intramural sport can be fun, a great stress reliever, a great opportunity to make connections here on campus. We also have peer mentoring services that could be of interest to you. And then we have our Student Administrative Council at the Peterborough campus. It's referred to as SAC. And over at our Lindsay campus, we have the Frost Student Administrative Council there as well. And these student bodies run a number of different special events, social activities. So we encourage you to, get familiar with them and the calendar of events that they offer, but they're also there to sort of be a support and an advocate for you as you kind of move through your program here at the college, and they can help you sort of understand your rights and responsibilities as a student. So just be aware that they're there to support you as well. So we can't wait to meet you, and we've included a QR code there. So if anybody's interested, you can scan that to have access to our meeting link. Right now, our calendars allow you to kind of book up to 2 weeks in advance. And if you're wanting to even have a conversation before you arrive in Canada, maybe you want to meet virtually, certainly that is an option that's available to you. So we do invite you to scan that QR code so you have more information on the Student Success Coaches and get linked to us through an appointment. And as I mentioned earlier, if you don't book in with us now, there'll be lots of opportunities to connect with us. You will get that email from us shortly over the next few weeks, and that will include our booking link. So please access the service. We're here to support you, and we want you to succeed at the college. So that's sort of the end of my presentation. I guess we'll turn it over to questions, and we can start by looking at the chat.
Thank you so much, Valerie, for your presentation. A lot of information for our students. Just remember to reach out, guys. That's the most important. Sometimes you are reluctant to do that. Some people say, "Oh, I don't want to ask because I think the question is stupid," and it's not. There's no question that cannot be answered, and no question is silly, really. Okay, so we are here to help you. This is your first time for some of you outside of the country. Everything is new, right? There's a new support system, there's a new country, new food, new everything, including the way people teach is different, right? New expectations, a lot of expectations, and for international students is even more, right? Because you don't have your family to support you here, but we are your family. And that's what I was saying in the other session. International Student Services is here to support you with any questions. I mean, any questions you have, okay? Come in person to our office and we'll direct you, okay? We are here to support you. There are tons of people at Fleming College who are here. They really enjoy their jobs because they can help students succeed. And this team is one of them, okay? So this team is here also to support you. Okay, so ask for help. Okay.
So I do see a couple of questions. The first question there is there a free gym membership at Fleming? Yes, as full-time students, you do receive access to the Peterborough Sport and Wellness Center if you're a Sutherland student in Peterborough, or if you're a Frost student in Lindsay, you have access to the Lindsay Recreation Complex.
There's a question about the one card. I've heard from the one card administration that you should have received an email. The email has a very easy link to do it. All you have to do is to upload your picture. So go to your Fleming email. If you don't know how to do that, download the handbook. I'm going to put a link for you. There's all kind of information there for you, including how to get into the portal and check your Fleming email. Okay, so make sure you check that.
I see a question around AES. So what is AES? So again, that acronym is Accessible Education Services. And this can be a crucial first step to accessing academic accommodation or services that you might need. So if you're an individual, for example, who has a diagnosed physical or mental health or learning disability or other disabilities such as attention deficit disorder or autism, for sure individuals with a disability are going to want to connect with our accessible education service to see how we can best support you and potentially provide some accommodation throughout your program. I see a question in here around the vulnerable sector screening. I'll speak to that just very briefly because I have some knowledge, working experience with NARS. So NARS is the non-academic requirements, and I'm guessing there's probably going to be a presentation through this orientation for NARS. So all those NARS related questions can be answered then. I guess the one thing I would just say to that is some programs have NARS. So some programs have these non-academic requirements, and it's really important for you to understand if that applies to you and your program and be aware of what that deadline is as to when you have to have these completed by. So I won't elaborate because there's going to be a session with, some current information from our NARS office. What I could do is I could include the NARS link to this chat if people want to go in and look to see if it applies to your program and when the deadline is that you would have to have things such as the vulnerable sector screening completed by.
So there's a question about the co-op and health insurance. So for those students who are asking about co-op, so co-op is a placement. It could be an internship that you do while you're studying at Fleming. It's not for every program. Some programs have co-op, some of them do not have, okay? But for those of you who do have a co-op or internship, right? That's part of your Fleming, it's part of your Fleming semester. So it's as long as you are a student, as long as you are a full-time student studying at Fleming College, you have your health coverage. Okay, so you'll be covered. Also, in terms of the NARS that Valerie just spoke about, remember that we had a NARS presentation for you in our Connect and Get Ready. There won't be any NARS presentation during the virtual orientation, but the NARS representatives will be here on campus at the networking day, which is the May 2nd. They will be here. So if you have any questions, they will have a table in the main foyer and you can ask questions while you're doing your activities or even after or before your activities. Okay.
So I'm also just going to throw in here our how to book page. And so that will include our link as well as each coach and which school that they work with. So you can easily just go through the page, find your coach, and then book with them through the link, okay? And then one more I'm going to share with you is common concerns and resources. And we have many different resources on that page, so you're welcome to look through that piece as well.
There are some students asking what's their one card. So one card is a card that you're going to receive as a student. This is mine as an employee, and it's your identification card, right? So you are going to have a card just like this for this student, of course, but this can only be done if you access your Fleming email and click on the link that they send you. So make sure that you're accessing your Fleming email. It's one of the first things that I say to students. Have you logged in into the portal? Have you accessed your email? Are you reading your emails? That's the most important, because access and not read doesn't do any good. But anyways, you have to read your email. You have to start reading, because that's how your faculty, that's how we communicate with you, right? We don't send emails to your private email. So everything goes to your Fleming email. So you have to be on top of it. Okay, especially when you start your studies, you will see many of the emails that are coming from your faculty will be accessed via email, and there will be maybe sometimes deadlines or links that you need to know, or things that you have to do. Also scholarships and things like that, all the information that goes for students and that they need to take action, for example, will be in your Fleming email. So you have to be checking that frequently.
I do see a question in there relating to MFA, which I think is the multi-factor authentication
That's
process.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So the handbook does have an answer about that. So there's a page that talks about MFA. If that doesn't solve the problem, you would have to come in person to Fleming, to the IT department, and they will help you with the MFA. But if you have the handbook and download the handbook, there is a page that talks about MFA and how to go about that. Okay, and if you cannot solve, you will have to come in person. So that day, the networking day, for example, on May 2nd, that you're going to be on campus, or even if you want to come visit us, if you're in Canada, you want to come and visit us, we are here, right? We are working, the campus is open. You are welcome to come and visit IT, visit International Student Services, or maybe even introduce yourself to the coaches. We are all here, okay? So you can come on campus as well. I'll put the link to the handbook again on in the chat. Yeah, so there's a question about the bus pass and one card. Yes, they come from different departments. So the bus pass will come from your Student Administrative Council, SAC, SAC, or FSA. No, FSA doesn't have a bus pass, but it will come from SAC for those students who are in the Sutherland campus. And the one for the one card is different. So the bus will come from SAC, and the one card will come, if I'm not mistaken, from facilities. So we will see that email there. And I've heard from some students that they have already uploaded their pictures. So when you are on campus on May 2nd, you'll be able to get your one card. You will just go to the information booth and they will have your one card there. So I'm just looking at questions, and I see that there are questions about more about not the success coaches, what the presentation was. So if you don't have any questions related to the presentation itself, and you have questions that are more related to, things that International can answer, I will let the team go if they want to go, or if one of you wants to stay, and I will be answering those questions on the chat. So I will end the recording now, as I see there are a lot of questions that are not related to the presentation that was done today. And I would like to thank the team for being here for your presentation, and you. If you need to leave and if you don't want to stay and you don't have any more questions, you're welcome to go. Just remember, we're going to have our next session is starting at 10:45. So you have some time there, 10:45 Canadian time. So you have some time to, some of you who are not in Canada, to have dinner or have lunch, depending where you are, and then come back for 10:45. And we'll be talking about tips and resources on finding part-time jobs. So if you're in Canada, you already have your study permit. We'll talk a little bit, and I'll be there to talk about also your study permit. Just to give you a little thing to look while you're there to see if you have all the remarks to work. And just remember, you're not allowed to work yet, but you're allowed to start looking for jobs. So I'll see you guys at 10:45 Canadian time. Thank you for
having us,
staying
Chris.
with us. Yes.